Hello everybody and welcome to my first video. I'm Tero and I'm here to give you a slight guide on Dungeon Souls. Please forgive my list because, I can't help it. You know, I've tried and it's a bad day. So I might get better with as I make more videos, which I hope to do. But today, it's not about that, it's about Dungeon Souls here. Alright, now Dungeon Souls is still in the early release by Steam. That means this game, everything in this game is subject to change. They could completely scrap the game and make it from new over again. And, they could make it Dark Souls style instead of, Realm of the Mad God. And if you played Realm of the Mad God, you might like Dungeon Souls if you like Realm of the Mad God, for example. Alright, now let's get a little bit started here. Alright, now I'm going to be, because I've already played for a little bit, I'm going to kind of, not play the default characters because they're not fun. I'm going to play a little bit ahead because I'm a cheater and I've already got passives. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about this, here. Now you got a bunch of characters. You got the Barbarian, Archer, Thief, Warrior. I haven't unlocked him yet, but that's the Mage. You got the Cleric, Necromancer, and the Nightblade. Nightblade's probably who I played the most, got the furthest with. He's fun. And that's probably who I want to play this time. Now, you can randomize if you like to gamble. But the three starting characters are going to be the Thief, Archer, and Barbarian. Now, if you want to hurry up and rush around and probably get like a Warrior or Mage or Cleric or Necromancer or Nightblade, you're probably going to want to start with the Thief. Because he's probably the most powerful out of the other two, because he moves fast and he attacks he has the highest attack speed out of the other two. But barbarians, they have their own uniqueness to them. Like, they move slow, but they have a lot of health. I'm talking a lot. Like the 120 HP compared to the knight's 80, and the knight is well, I guess the Nightblade is the second, but Barbarian has a good attack. The thing that makes because normally you'd be like, well, in a type of game like this, melee is probably gonna suck because ranged enemies are just gonna slaughter them. Wrong. The thing that makes melee characters really good is the fact that your melee swing, which is your left mouse button or your left mouse click, actually blocks and destroys projectiles, which is actually pretty good. That's why I like the Nightblade, because you can switch between ranged or melee. So that's freaking awesome. So you can play how you want and enjoy what you want to do. Now, you start off with two difficulties available. You have two more that I haven't unlocked yet, because in order to unlock them, I'm assuming you have to defeat a guy called the Soul something. He's basically the final boss. You have to defeat him on the previous mode in order to unlock the next, just like every other good game. Now you could either start on easy mode, which is for beginners. Like, this is where you want to start off if you're just now getting into the game and you want to kind of weigh out the game. You want to feel everything out and get used to it. Or you could, be a hard ass and jump right into normal. I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend starting on easy until you get hang of the game and get used to it, and run through it a couple times, and then you can start on normal, because it's a whole nother game when it gets to the normal. And I'm assuming when you get to hard and like ultimate or insane or nightmare, whatever the hell the name is for the fourth one is, it's a whole whole different game. Now, there are benefits to playing normal over easy. Now, when you look at this, you notice something right here. It's rank. You got 5 stars. And you notice that, guess what? You got all these different stats up here, right? Right. Now, the problem is if you play easy, the experience, which is right here, 27 out of 10,000, because you obviously see how much I play Barbarian, it does not go up. Nothing for that, or the gold that is required to upgrade passives, like what I've had here for generation, attack damage, stamina, you know, all these that I've leveled up that require gold, or money, where you see down here right next to, you know, it's like 1363 to level up to level 1. Or for that one, if I want to level up to level 7, it requires 9,545. I have 3,228. Well, that gold you do not get on easy. You do not get experience on easy. Easy is just there as a tutorial. Now, I'm going to be playing the Nightblade. I don't exactly remember how you get them. I think it's just by beating the game, which, I mean, on easy it's not that hard. It's, you know, you can, if you play the Thief on easy and you get the Necromancer, you can run through the Necromancer, like, run through the, you know, entire thing 3 times, and, because you keep going until you die, and it just keeps getting harder and harder. So there is no quit. There is no end. You just keep going. But there's kind of a point. There's kind of no point unless you just feel like slaughtering everybody after you get past that first one and get, you know, all the achievements and whatnot that you need to unlock characters. Now I'm gonna play the Nightblade, and this is kind of a little guide to, you know, help you out with getting started. Now, I'm cheating, obviously, because I've already got a rank on my Nightblade, and I've already got passives. Now, when you start getting passives and you start ranking up money down here, and you want to get passives, I recommend trying to max your regeneration as much as you can, because other than this regeneration for your passive, you don't get it unless you're a cleric, or, you know, a necromancer that has the skeletons that heal him. So, regeneration is really helpful, because if you don't regen, you're going to sit at that health unless you get a health potion. Which, you know, they're in plenty of supply, but I would rather have a health potion and not need it than not have one and then need it, you know? So, let's get into this. Because I'm going to be playing normal so that you guys can kind of see what's going on. Now, I'm going to level up my weapon switch first. And look over here. Bam. Woo. Swinging giant hammer. That's your left click. I don't know what that little fucker does. Oh, he's been following me around every single time I run around. Anyways. But guess what? Special abilities are right click. Woo! Yeah! Switch to a chakram. And you see that? I'm going to cheat. Watch this. Woo! Yeah. Alright. Now if we go back. You see this little thing, it says locked 0 out of 5 marks activated. Oh great, these guys are already here. Now, these marks, stop, go away. These marks here are that little thing you see on the ground. Right there, that is a mark. You need to step on it in order to activate it. And by the way, I just picked up a potion. The way you pick up items in this game is by hitting spacebar, which you can see by looking through the controls, which I do recommend looking at when you start before you know jump into a game. Now, look, there's traps everywhere. This little red circle, click. Oh look, a boulder. Gold. Guess what? Apparently boulders hold gold now. Spooky ghost. Great. Drops absolutely nothing. He just gives 2 XP and you move on. Now, of course, if you go into easy mode first, there's not going to be as many skeletons for these marks and stuff like that. Now, in this game, there are items that you are able to buy or find. There are random chests laid around everywhere. There's silver and gold chests. I have yet to see a gold chest, but I'm sure they exist. But silver chest is most common, and in order to open a well, not most common, a wooden chest is most common. But in order to open up a silver chest, you need a silver key, and silver keys are not as common as silver chests usually. But guess what? Today's our lucky day, and guess who's the shop owner? This adventurous man who's, you know, looking for a profit. Oh, that's great. He had a silver key for us. And we got this guy. Now, I don't know if this is a bug or not, but these guys are brutal. They are in no way, shape, or form appropriate for the zone or level that we are. They're just kind of, I guess devs kind of just put them in and be like, well, we're gonna weed you guys out quick. Now I'm gonna level up my second ability. In order to change abilities, you hit E and Q. So for the first ability is E, second ability is Q, and what this one does is I get to dash and get a bunch of armor. Awesome, yeah, fun stuff. I become invincible for a second, and then I die. Now, these guys again, they have an absurd amount of health. They have an absurd amount of damage, and you know they're just irritating all around. And then these little ghost bastards. And you can, there's little cheeses like this where you can avoid getting attacked by them by, you know, sitting around a corner and attacking them through a corner and trap. Boulder, 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 boulder. And I don't know why these guys spawn. They like I literally have not been here that long, and they spawn. I guess I thought they were at first like a softened rage. It basically tell you that you shouldn't be here for too long, but you know they were here basically as I spawned, which is freaking crazy. Also hit M to open up your map. That way you can see where you've been and where you need to go, because it really does help out. Because if you don't know where the other marks are, guess what? You can't get on to the next level. Now, and I don't... You see, they also attack their friends, which I don't understand. And they deal a lot of damage. Luckily, I have enough health to live through them, but I'm not gonna, you know... I get hit by a boulder. Now, I am going to... Okay, this guy can piss off. Now, that is not normally what I would recommend doing, but, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. And, okay, moving on. So, you unlock, whenever you get into a zone, every mark will spawn the same group of monsters, usually. I have yet to run into a, you know, zone where this was an exception, but you never know. Oh, sweet, a compass. Compasses unlock with these gray dots. They don't unlock, but they allow you to see where marks are on your map. By the way, if you see an empty shelf and you know you were to somehow activate it, which I don't know how yet, you're able to go into a separate zone. I wouldn't recommend doing it because the mage boss in that specific zone is hard as hell, and he's never fun to fight. Mages are never fun to fight because fireballs. Oh, guess what? We found the shop guy. The shop guy will spawn on every level, so it's always good to find him and, you know, see where Khajiit has to offer. You know, Khajiit has wares if you have coin. Same way for him. He makes the dangerous truck into this dungeon just to give you armor that, you know, random items that you will find useful. I bought this item called a zombie tooth, I believe. And guess what, OP guys, sweet. Now I am going to cheese my way into killing him by using that and giant hammer, random guy, hammer, hammer, sweet, he's dead. Alright, and so items are an amazing thing. Now, okay, I guess I'm gonna leave that way alone because, you know, they literally kill me. And I recommend, if you are able to, try to find the shop guy in every level, because all those items that he sells that you have bought, they really do help as you get later in the game. He sells potions as well, but but you can only buy one item out of all those potions, or out of each level. So, for example, he could have, you know, 3 super overpowered items, but you can only buy one of them. So you have to choose wisely what you're going to buy from him, and, you know, stuff like that. Now, when running through, what I like to do is, I like to save the closest one for, last, because whenever you activate the last mark, you get a timer up here. It's just a little red bar. I'm gonna run in here and hope I don't die. Bam! Alright, we're out. Got that one. Sweet. Now, whenever that timer activates, whenever it expires, it summons a monster called the Redeemer. He is unattackable, and what he does is when he gets close to you, he starts leeching away your health. And it's not, you know, too tough, but you know, if you just sit there and let him, you know, leech away at your health, it will kill you. Now, every 3 levels, you get a boss battle, and the bosses are always the same, except, you know, you have like 6 different bosses, but after you beat those 6 bosses, they repeat. Except the way they get tougher is they just spawn more of them. So after you beat the final boss, you are able to advance on to the next level. And from what I believe, you don't even need to beat the final boss. You just need to run to the portal and, you know, quickly hit spacebar so you can go through. And what you need to do is, whenever you get to the second playthrough, which, you know, not really new monsters, but, you know, new creatures in other zones will spawn in zones that they're not supposed to be in, and they're just trying to basically flood you with numbers to make it more difficult. Sometimes it works, a lot of times it doesn't, but, you know, it's still in beta. They're working on it. And right now we're killing the Skeleton King. Killing the Skeleton King is how you unlock the Knight, the guy who swings a giant sword, and he swings a giant sword around, and that's about all he does. That's about all he can do. So Knight is, you know, he's all right. I prefer this guy. His, you know, giant hammer. And bam! Boss is dead. We leveled up. Sweet. Now, I guess I forget to level up. So I have 4 levels. Now, how you level up is you click on these little arrows over on the side. Now, what I recommend is getting stats that you do not have up. Now, I'm playing this guy, so he doesn't use magic, period. But so you don't level up through this. If you get an item by chance that does, you know, level up magic, it's not gonna hurt you. Oh, sweet. Merlin's cap right off the bat. Freaking great. Alright, the Merlin's cap is probably the best item in the game. Greater cooldown reduction, 10 magic resistance. Awesome. Basically, we can throw out our stuff however fast we want. And what cooldown reduction in this game does is it makes it so that all your abilities cool down faster. Your regular attack, which is this, is actually a cooldown. It has like a 2-second cooldown, or a 1 second, or a half second, whatever it is. So when you get cooldown reduction, it makes you attack faster. So it's like attack speed, which is amazing. And okay, we got resistance, so I'm gonna go with defense. Now, what I like to do with these stats is I like to go defense and resistance. Reason why is because you will get damage and cooldown reduction and all this other stuff on here naturally through items. So as you get higher in the levels, you'll get it through items. Now we're gonna move on to the next zone and run, and kill stuff. And this game just got a hell of a lot easier by getting Merlin's cap, because that's how overpowered it is. If I was playing the Necromancer, I would easily be able to run through, but I'm not. But that's no big deal. Now, if you noticed, it's all green. We are in the sewers. Sewers has new monsters, which you see these. What they do is you kill them and they spawn a little hornet that shoots poison arrows at you. Not fun. You don't want to get hit by those poison arrows, because if you don't have regeneration, you can't really recover from them. Oh look, a zombie tooth. I'm gonna get another zombie tooth. Normally you would try to avoid if like you were to go to a shop like that where you already have one of the items but you don't have another. The zombie tooth is a exception, I would say, to the vampire or the beaker or blood beaker, whatever the hell it was called, because what the zombie tooth does is when you stand on pool of blood, which usually spawns after killing somebody like a monster, it spawns a pool of blood, and when you stand on it with the zombie tooth, it regenerates your health more quickly standing on that blood. And what am I going to do is I'm going to level up my dark hammer. Awesome. I'm going to run through here. I'm going to swing my hammer a bunch of times, kill everything, stand on the blood, never die. GG. Now I'm going to run because the Redeemer is coming. That little red bar up here that's steadily counting down, that's Redeemer. If you don't get to the next level, he's going to come up and he's going to rape you. Hate to say it, but it's true. Now, what I just killed right there was a arrow barrel. It will randomly shoot out arrows, and that right there shoots out little green orbs, and all deal damage and are not fun. Oh look, shop guy, sweet. I try to get, items from the shop guy and not, just random stuff. Oh look, I just barely got enough to buy the traveler's cloak. Because items will help you later in the game, because you get monsters drop potions all the time. So you do not need to worry about potions. Unless you absolutely don't like either choice, which if you get a potion over an item, I am disappointed in you. Because items are permanent buffs, potions are unlimited. And they only last for at most 10 seconds, and if you don't have the potion you want by the time you get to the shop guy, you're doing something wrong. Because all these monsters drop tens of millions of potions, so you'll never need them. Most of them will probably go to waste. And so, we're running through, and with this guy, I like to level up the Dark Hammer first, because the most, other than the thick armor, because it's raw damage, and switching between, the dash with the thick armor and whatnot, it can, if you're, that mitigating elite player where every crucial movement is, if you do something wrong, then you screw yourself. If you're that, then you can, do whatever you want. You probably wouldn't be watching this video anyways, because you already know what to do, because you're that natural genius. Now I'm gonna run away because here comes the Redeemer. Guess what? But guess what? Boss! Yeah! Now this guy is not fun. He has that little skull. Luckily for us, we're a melee. So, we're a melee and a range. What he does is, I'll back off here and stop attacking, is he drops those green orbs. And those green orbs deal a lot of damage. And when they hit you, they poison you. And that poison, unless you have regeneration, will deal a lot. Or resistance, or more example, defense. They will slaughter you. Luckily, I have a lot of defense and a lot of resistance thanks to that last boss fight, so I can kind of stand here and just take it to the face. And he's got that little beam and, fun stuff. So whenever he bounces, he does that orbs shoot out. Whenever that beam comes out, whenever he does that, if you don't have something to defend yourself with it, or immediate health potion, it probably spells immediate death. Now that skull shield, that skull that he was holding in front of him, is actually a shield. Now, whenever you kill it, he kind of berserks a little bit, except I was stunning him a lot through that, which is great, which I'm glad for, because all that stuff where he was like, that was him berserking, and that was, you know, if you're like a necromancer and you don't have enough skeletons up and he does that, you're probably gonna get killed. Now, boom, we got a cat paw. Sweet, more EXP. Now, this is the third zone, and we're gonna run through, and these guys, they'll roll around, but they're not fun, because guess what? Everyone in this zone slows, and he deals knockback, which isn't fun either. Because when you're slowed, you are slowed for 10 years plus. Look, guess what? I'm not slowed anymore. Oh look, a beaker, finally. This is the item that I gave up over the vampire tooth. So, usually you'll get, you know, items while running around killing stuff, because I got the 4-leaf clover, which increases drop chance of an item by 4% for every mob I kill. Or, you know, so basically 1 out of every 20 mobs, or no, 1 out of every 25 mobs, or kills, I will get an item. Oh, the Redeemer's coming, because apparently I've stepped on all of them, so I'm gonna run. You don't want to see the Redeemer. I will not show him to you. I refuse to show him to you. Because I will let, if you want to see him, I will let you see him for yourself. Now I just picked up another item, because see, 1 out of every 25. I'm getting items left and right. Now, potion, I'm gonna pick that one up. See, potions are everywhere. Now, look, beer. So, a lot of times you'll have duplicate items, so, I mean, you don't have much of a choice. Beer. It makes it so that they slow whenever I hit them. I'm going to run up to this guy and start whacking him in the face with my hammer. And, fun times. Now, after, you know, running through, after running through a few times, you're gonna notice that in this zone and another zone, you're going in the first zone that you're in, you're gonna see some weird stuff. For example, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, let me kill these guys real quick and grab this chest. Of course, it's just potions. Now, this right here, it looks like a strange tree. But what's gonna happen is, like, after you like walk away for a little bit, it activates, or I don't know how you activate it, but it activates, and it will become it will be, say, Fae Forest instead of a strange tree. Because I prefer the Fae Forest over this guy. This, you know, well, I don't really prefer it. It doesn't matter. I'll kill whatever. It will send you to a whole different zone, but you won't have to fight the boss of this one, which at the same time is alright, but it doesn't really matter, you know. If you want to, you know, mitigate and try to avoid bosses, and this might help you, and, you know, you get more stuff from it. If not, then, you know, you do what you do. Now, I am getting slaughtered because guess what? These guys spawned. I don't know what spawns them, but they're really irritating, and they will kill you easily. No joke. Like, they're not fun at all. Now, I'm going to try to kill them, which, I mean, at this point in the game, killing those guys is an easy task because I got items, so I can counter them. But when they try to, you know, noob stomp you, then it becomes a different story. And so, we're about to, after I kill this guy, come on. And I like to use my, you know, little dash to get in and out of places so I can get through zones like this a little bit quicker. Now, next boss, sweet. Now remember, big swing melee weapons like this with the Knight and Barbarian and, you know, this guy. I think he's called the Dark Knight. I don't remember. I don't care. The large crescent swings of melee weapons basically block and destroy projectiles. So it's always good to constantly be attacking. Because guess what? It might just save your life. Look at that. Most of the projectiles were blocked because, you know, bam. Now, as you can see, he does all these different abilities, and I'm getting slaughtered. Oh, so steadily. Now, I'm going to try to back up a little bit, which isn't using my chakram is probably not the best idea, but it works. So I got my health up a little bit, and he also does this, where he spawns little crystals, and yeah, you destroy him, and he does stuff. I think they just are mainly there to block the way and be irritating. And so, after this zone, we're gonna kill her, and she's going to spawn into, you know, he's not gonna spawn. We're gonna go into the new zone. I'm getting slaughtered, so I am going to eat some potions. Hope I don't die. And you know, during boss fights, it's normal to for them to drop the mobs to drop potions. It helps a lot. Like for example, times like now. Where you're kind of getting low on health and you kind of need it. Now, after this one, we're going to get into a new area, and this is the last boss in the set, because you have the 4 or 5 sets, or 4 or 5 bosses per set, or depending on whether you go through the forest or whatever. This is, I believe, the last boss who will actually give you items. Now, there are active items that are active through your F. This one resets the cooldown on all my abilities, which is pretty nice, but not for the Dark Knight, or whatever this guy's called. Now, I'm gonna level up right quick. Defense, sweet. But every item helps. Now, when we get through here, we're gonna run into that guy, and this next guy does not drop items. I will say that now. So don't sit there and, you know, and he's probably one of the more difficult ones. So don't sit there and, you know, kill him and be like, hey man, why didn't this guy drop items for me? Because he doesn't. Now this is the Necromancer. You kill this guy, and this is how you unlock the Necromancer. Ta-da! I just unlocked the Necromancer if I didn't already have him. Now, getting hit by those red orbs gives you poison, and poison, it deals a moderate amount of damage, but by the time you get to this point, you're gonna have enough items to be able to, you know, withstand that poison and not get slaughtered by it. Then I have the regen from, you know, passives. So, moving on, just running through. And with the special abilities, the chakram, whenever the ability that I'm using, which switches between the hammer and the chakram, whenever I hit someone with for the first attack of that specific weapon when it comes out, it deals an increased amount of damage. It's about 50%, or depending on how high you've leveled it up. So you can, you know, you can go for this hybrid, I want to constantly be switching between them build, where you constantly switch and, you know, do more increased damage that way. Okay, I'm ignoring that place. Since I already have the compass, there's no point in, you know, am I not returning? There's no point in buying a compass if I already have it. So it's better to get the other item that I don't have. Oh shit, I did not want to do that. Well, at least I got rid of the rage potion. Now I'm gonna try to get out of here because those guys will destroy me, apparently. Moving on, moving on. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da. Kill these guys. Right, I got 2 potions of rage. Great. Not what I need. Potions of rage basically just double your damage that you deal. It's helpful, but, you know, I'd rather have a healing potion. Look, speaking of healing potions. Potion of Retrieve. These are the potions that really are a gamble, but they're really, really good. And, you know, what they do is they have a 50% chance to, when you use it, you have a 50% chance that they'll either heal you to full health, or they'll do absolutely nothing. So, I mean, they help, but depends on whether you want to take a gamble. I personally like them because, I mean, whether, you know, they work or not, most of the time they do. So it helps. And I love this chakram because it just, whenever you get in a corridor and try to clear a room, it just bounces everywhere and deals damage to everybody. Now I'm probably gonna die at the final boss fight because the final boss is not fun, and he'll probably kill me because the way his mechanics work is he actually spawns previous bosses. This isn't the final boss. This is the Soul Guardian. The Soul Guardian is how you unlock this character, actually, as you can tell from the cool looking armor and shit. I don't know why I'm getting slowed and slaughtered by this guy, but he does these like little bouncing around things. Remember, your swings, if you're a melee, can actually block those orbs. So that's your saving grace in this area. And I'm getting killed because I'm slowed, and he's teleporting on top of me everywhere, every time. One thing I don't know is why my health isn't regenerating at all. Normally it would keep me topped off, but it seems I'm taking a lot of damage right now. So yeah, yeah, basically this is the game. Or boss fights at least. You just sit here and attack for 10 years, and hope you don't die in the process. Even though I wasn't, you know, relatively close to getting hit by that, I was still hit by it, so yeah. he hurts, apparently. So I mean, I guess what you could do is to deal with the, you know, low damage problem is just level up damage if you want to, but you'll have no survivability. So I mean, I guess survivability and a higher chance, or it's not really a higher chance, I guess it depends on how you play. You could be much more mechanically skilled than I am, and you know, be able to dodge absolutely everything that he throws your way. You might not. Remember, he doesn't drop legitimate loot, he just drops a bunch of gold. And, you know, yeah, fun times. No, that he's dead. I'm gonna level up damage now, because I have enough defense that, you know, I'm not gonna die instantly to anything. Now this is the final area of the set, okay? This is, ooh, potion of risk. Now, the boss that comes out of here is the final boss. The final boss. If I can, you know, -1 bonus damage, fuck me. And there are hydras in here that will slaughter you if you're not careful, like they are doing me. Now, those little bastards will be irritating. Remember, you can do a little corner sniping and avoid most attacks, but you just gotta hope you know where they're at. Oh look, guess what? Another hydra. Bam. We freaking fog of war here. So I'm just gonna sit here and, well, I guess I can't. Man, this is a freaking rough start. And then we got a little berserk. Whenever you see a enemy that is red, like their color is naturally red, that means they're berserked or enraged. Basically, they're much more OP than everybody else. They have more health. They, or at least I believe they have more health. They have their ability, like the attack that they normally do, is these flies are pissing me off. Because these little flies poison you, and that's keeping me from regenerating. While I'm trying to sit here and, you know, not get killed. Like so. Luckily I have my regen pretty high, so. But of course, remember, they always respawn, so there's no safe spot. Ah, finally got him. Sweet. And guess what? Another one spawns. Or never mind, that's the armored guy. Good thing I leveled up. That allowed me to get my health back in. 3 out of 5. We still have like a whole nother. I don't know what's at the. Yeah, shit. I'm getting the hell out of there. Alright, got that one. Alright, run. Alright, we're gonna try to get the last. That's not a room I want to go into. Now I'm gonna run out of that room too. Now that I got all of them, so I can avoid death. This is called this zone is called the Judgment. By the way, I'm gonna try to run through and grab all these just so I can show you the guy's boss. That way I can, you know, end the video. I'll try to avoid dying preemptively. If only the poison didn't slaughter me, like so. Alright, well, basically the boss is a giant skull, and he kills stuff. So, that's it for today's kind of run through. It was a lot longer than I expected or I'd hoped for. I hope it helps at least, you know, one or two of anyone who watches. So, good luck, peace out, take it easy.